I can feel like 80 rats in my Marys. Me and Drizzy back to back, it's getting scary. If you fucking with my eyes, just don't come near me. Put some bins all on your head like Justin Terry.
Let's get it. The Faison View podcast, episode 206. Man, unbelievable. Let's get straight into it. You already know Color Power. Introduce Color Power. We are game shift out here. Man, make sure you go support black-owned businesses and, man, creators in general.
SBD on my body. So I go cop some of that.
Y'all be safe, be dangerous, man. Hey, it's a lot of be safe and be dangerous in these topics today. So let's get into it. You already know. All right, so first what we here talking about, riots incited on the U.S. Capitol invaded by terrorists. Yes, I said terrorists. We're going to get into it. Released information on the UFOs, aliens, supernatural. Hey, man, did you ever believe? Hey, I sure did. I ain't going to lie.
I still don't.
So we're going to get into it. Shoot, they released that. They dropped that. Does writing, your pen ability, your pen ability, determine your greatness as an artist? Not just a rapper, but we're going to talk about artists in general. And then, we're going to get fun with it. Top 10 greatest cartoons ever. Y'all don't really know. We 90s babies in here, so for real, we going back to the 90s with these. And lastly, would you rather be on a survival reality show or a dating reality show?
I think I'm gonna play devil's advocate to whoever you pick on that one.
We're gonna see. That's actually a tough question. So, man, let's get right into it, man. Actually, when we dropped the last one, let me turn this down a little bit. Actually, when we dropped the last one, the U.S. Capitol was being invaded and we was going through all that. So we didn't want to put this content out because we didn't know what was going to transpire, what's going on.
And it was happening live for us because we're from
actually
the
live, and
we're not too far from where it's all happening.
Exactly. So just being mindful and being careful. So that was just too much to really break news on at that time. But right now, as we speak, the number 45 is getting his second impeachment. And we're going to get into it, rightfully so. So these riots were incited, point blank period. At the end of the day, and us being our skin color, it's so crazy to see. At the end of the day, it should never happen. And just the fact that our own American people, and it's not our people because we don't really bang with that side. We don't get down with that at all because that was a terrorist act at the end of the day.
Man, sure.
And you look at it and look at the broad view of things, and people outside of like America and looking at us, bro, at other countries, they looking at us in pity, like what? And we got so many threats. We got so many people that we're going against right now, and seeing that by our own people, by our own supposed to be leader, inciting things because he's bitter about the race, the presidential race.
Yeah, man.
And it just shows to you that America has always been this way, bro. And it will be a massacre. It will be a massacre if we
wouldn't even admit it to the step. We couldn't even think about doing something like that.
And it's distasteful and it's crazy on another level. Also, we get to see it on a broad view. That's the only. I don't want to think about any positive about this situation, but that's the only thing you get to see is the reality of what America really is based on. Honestly, bro. Honestly, because that was scary.
In this country, man. It's just
that's a scary event, and people lost their lives. Officers lost their lives. We seen police. We seen officers taking pictures with
an officer
with them.
Took their own life.
You know what I'm saying? Like this is ridiculous. And for the timely manner when it's happening, the inauguration coming up, it's worrisome. Honestly, it's worrisome because you don't know what's gonna happen next. But he gotta go. He gotta go because at the end of the day, anybody else does this. Just dating back to our last president, they were coming at him for when he came in his presidency for taking Michelle to a ballroom or down in New York and how much money they were spending and all this other stuff. But this man has put terror in America for 4 years. It's disgusting, man. It's disgusting. And for them to even the fact that only 52 people got locked up, like I said, it would have been a massacre if Black Lives Matter. We were getting pepper spray. People were getting killed. People were getting shot, and we were protesting for a cause of our people peacefully at that, and the cause of our people. And if we do get upset, I'm not saying that people don't get upset and burn stuff. We will never ever even think about what just happened. What just happened? Unreal. People getting ran over. People getting killed over seamlessly. Our people getting wrongfully killed by our own government. At the end of the day, because that's what it's boiled down to. They think that blue life is power, and they can't. You know what I'm saying? Nobody can see up to that. It's ridiculous because you get that badge on your shoulder and you think otherwise of other people, and you see the person a person of color, and you don't care about nothing that's going on. Nope. But that time and moment that you're getting mad and you just react. But you don't think about that man's kids, that man's wife, that woman's wife, that woman's, like, we go through that. So to see this happen, they walk straight in the U.S. Capitol, just walking and letting them do that, and now you see so many people getting resigned, and now you see so many people who is involved with it too. It's disgusting, bro. Like, it's disgusting.
For me, I'm gonna get a little deep with this, but on the comedic side, before I start, seeing this has been funny in a way because it's like black people are fed up. People knew that. We've been fed up. You see, we're fed up. That was already a fact. But seeing some of these white folks fed up with the rest of these white folks has been hilarious.
Absolutely.
Like, there's some white folks that's done with y'all. Like it's been so funny watching white people go off on the white people that went up to do that. Like, seeing white folks fed up is hilarious.
And it's messed up because not all of them are bad.
Exactly. So to see, like, it's just funny to see how fed up some of these white folks are. But on the deepest side, man, like, race has always been something that was created by man to divide us. God created ethnic groups, because we're all one people. He created ethnic groups, and then later on, through Darwinism and other things, race came involved. And race has always just been something that's been used to divide us. They used it within. They try using it within Jesus. You got people who say, I don't believe in white Jesus, and anyone who believes in white Jesus, yada yada yada. I'd rather go, be with the 5%ers because they black. And I'm not bashing anyone's religion, but to base your beliefs off of somebody's skin color, it doesn't sit right with me. For me, like, just speaking for me personally, Jesus could be purple with 8 eyes. He'd still be my savior. Because it's not, I don't praise Jesus for what he looks like, I praise Jesus for who he is. But people use that to divide you and use that to take that away from where your mind's supposed to go. And race has always been like that. You got folks who don't want to work with you because of the color of your skin. I've had situations being someone who's a child care provider, people didn't want me touching their child because of the color of my skin. And it shouldn't be about the color of my skin. Yes, recognize I'm proud to be black. I don't have a problem with you recognizing that I'm black. But I got this job because of who I am. Mm-hmm. And your kid loves me because of who I am, not because I'm black. You know what I'm saying? So race has always been something that's been used to divide us, and we gotta get past that. And so, lastly, I feel like we've reached a point where, as a human being, this just shouldn't sit right with you. And I think we have gotten there. I think we've gotten to that point where just like, and I saw it in the early stages of 2020, when Trump had completely just not prepared his country with coronavirus. If you are corona doesn't care what color you are. So white folks lost some people to corona and black folks lost some people to corona. As you know what I'm saying? So as a human being, I don't care how much you hate black folks, that's not gonna sit right with you that your leader did not prepare your country and you lost a loved one to that disease. Then he went and told the American people to drink bleach and rub it on themselves. Again, I don't care how much you hate black folks, that should not sit right with you. As a human being, your leader should not be telling you to drink bleach. And then some people actually did that and lost their lives. And then you have this. Again, as a human being, sending people to the Capitol where there are folks in there, they're working, they're doing their jobs, and you send people to go up there and attack them to stop them from, counting the last of the votes. As a human, and people have lost their lives, officers have gotten beat up and lost their lives. As a human being, that just should not sit right with you. And I think we've reached that point where, as human beings, we do need to come together and realize that we were wrong. Not we, but we as in like the majority of this country that voted him in was wrong, and this wasn't right. And it's unfortunate it's not 100%. You don't get 100% of everything, as in like everyone doesn't agree. That even with the impeachment voting, it was 237 to 192, I believe. You would think after this event you would get 100% on that, but you don't get 100% of everything. But I'm glad the result is the result, and I think we need to move on.
We gotta move forward from this. And I'm just glad that we weren't involved in this situation because our lives would have been lost. Point blank, period.
Exactly.
Like it's ridiculous. And moving on to what we talking about next. And I brought this up because it ties in. I feel like it's a very, very, very big subject matter. No matter what your beliefs are or not. Released information on the UFOs. They released everything, and they pre-released it because they were talking about and talks about it releasing in July, and just everything just being spread out, basically like the whole Area 51 in your files, but basically 2 to 3 million files of the declassified information and documents. It's crazy, and I'm just posing the question: did you ever believe? Because I believed. I always believed that it was always just not even just supernatural, just UFOs, other life beings other than here. It's not anything that we wasn't privy to, and we were talking about before the podcast started. At the end of the day, it's what we seen on TV. It's the content. Where are these images? Where are these things coming from? How does that just come along without no? It doesn't just come along with an imagination. A lot of times, it's a lot of images, just like in the Simpsons and all this stuff going on, where everybody looking to the Simpsons. Oh yeah, what's happening there? What's happening here? It's always something that's trending. That messaging is there, and honestly, we've seen it all our lives, and it's just like it's crazy that we see that UFOs and all these the documents are there and the documents are out, and it's crazy. Honestly, I really don't know what to make of it, but I always believe it. Me personally.
I never really believed in them. I'm still not completely sold on this. And for me, the only reason, like, I never clowned anybody who did believe. I just didn't believe because it was never something that had any kind of relevance to my life, other than like watching it on TV and seeing how cool it was. Like, you know what I'm saying, if aliens did exist, they haven't bothered me yet. And if vampires and mermaids, all this stuff exists, they hasn't bothered me yet. So that was my thing. I was like, if it's not threatening my life,
it was more so out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, and for me, you know, like, you know, the Bible talks about, you know, the unknown is for man and the known is for God. And so, like, some things we aren't supposed to know because as human beings, we don't make the best decisions. You look at what man does just to the animals we do have. I mean, I just saw a video of they literally ingrained the words Trump on the back of a manatee. Yeah, like, what do you think we would do if we saw a mermaid or a Sasquatch or a Loch Ness monster? So that's why I feel like that stuff is unknown to us, because we don't make this great decisions with the beings we have now. Look what we do to each other. Look what we do to killer whales and elephants, all the other stuff. So what do you think we would do with these things? So that's why I feel like that stuff wasn't privy to us, because we're not going to handle that situation very well. What if aliens do exist and we're going to be the same ones trying to contact them and they come through and then...
also to counter that, bro, like, we should be privy to a lot of things that's going on. I feel like that's what, if you think about it, in the basis of what society is based on, what's going on, that's the conversation, that's what it's based upon. Like, going all the way back, bro, they keeping everything hidden from us. That's why, honestly, society becomes what it is today, because the morals and backgrounds and what the government poses to us is different from what it is, bro. You hide it so much from us. So how can a lot of things, how can we move as a people?
But if you contact them aliens and they come, and if the aliens exist and you contact them and they come through on some Independence Day stuff and try to wreck everything, you're going to rue the day that you tried to reach out. That's my thing. It's like, ignorance is bliss sometimes, you know what I'm saying? We've lived comfortably without having to worry about stuff like that now. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's died of a mermaid attack yet, so it's like, you know.
But I just feel like it's too much hidden society things and things that we should be privy to and things we should know. I understand that it's a lot of things that you should know, because that access can be toxic. Yeah, honestly, I get what you're saying, because especially in the internet world.
Yeah, we're flawed, man. We don't make good decisions by ourselves.
That's the
truth. I even make them, myself included. You know what I'm saying?
But I feel your point, and I feel mine as well. I respect that. So, man, moving on. Does writing, your pen ability, determine your greatness as an artist? So, main reason why I brought this up is very much a trendy topic and conversation within music in general, about writers and the greatness of artists and things of that nature. But what really blows me, like, and honestly, that just was trending. Gilly was just on with Funk Flex. And he was just speaking to the Drake thing, but I just feel like his name gets brought up so much, and it's not even just me being a Drake fan. It's the fact that so many artists that we love, that we cherish, that we look to, that as the greatest artists ever, even though our greatest artist ever is, well, mine is, and it should be no debate of who is Michael Jackson. At the end of the day, Michael Jackson had a lot of influences too, with the greatest producer ever, with Quincy Jones, and he wrote a lot for Michael Jackson. Does that make him not the greatest artist ever? No, he was still a creator himself. He still wrote for other people too. But I just find it blows me too. I understand in rap because with pen it's been
that's the basis of rap.
It's the basis of rap, and that's what it's based on. But also within rap is concerned too. It's a lot of rappers that we love and that we cherish too, dating back to times that we didn't even know who wrote for who. If you want to be completely honest, if they didn't say it out their mouths, and they've been coming out recently saying it out their mouths. Of course, we're gonna pinpoint the most recent one we seen was about Snoop and Still Dre. You know, like I wouldn't have never known that if he didn't say that. But guess what? It was still happening there. But that doesn't make Snoop any less of a great rapper.
He did a rap on that song.
But I'm just saying.
My point.
At the end of the day, it's just like I don't like to look at it in that spectrum. I respect the artistry, honestly, because all these people are. They are artists. They're true artists. They are crafts of their work. At the end of the day, you have to perform the song. I'm not saying that I don't just agree. Oh yeah, you have everybody write for you. I don't agree with that. But everybody has influencers, writers, supporters, producers. Kanye had a lot of influence on Jay-Z, but he's still one of the GOATs, if not your GOAT. So it doesn't, you know what I'm saying? It just puts a lot of weight on people's shoulders when it's a lot of people other than just one person really doing it. And your artistry is everything, but it's a lot of great artists that don't get their credit because they talk about, oh yeah, well somebody ripped for him, but I don't agree with that.
The overall, to answer the overall question, no. On the rap side, you know, rap is, so the difference between rapping and singing, right? Singers can get writers all day long because singing is about your voice, your God-given ability of your voice. That's why other singers do covers. Because this person might sing this song better than the original artist because their voice might be better. Like Rihanna covered Same Person on her last album by I forgot the name of the original artist. It's a band, but they're really dope. I like both versions. One of my favorite Stevie Wonder songs is "Don't Worry About a Thing," but I like the John Legend version better because I love John Legend's voice. He sounded better singing that song. Mm-hmm. So singers get writers all the time. Like that's what producers do. That's what writers do. It's about your voice and your vocal ability. With rap has always been about up here, and so we give credit to people who come up with dope lines like "Real G's moving silence like lasagna." You know, if I ever found out Wayne didn't make that up, that's gonna break my heart to pieces. Like, but that's why you get credit for that. And so, you know, on the Drake tip, pause if I need to. Like Drake. No one ever wrote Drake's raps. Like this to be clear, there's a difference between having somebody write a hook or a bridge. That's what producers do. That's cool. But that doesn't take away your credibility as an MC. People aren't writing Drake's verses for him. Like, even with the Still Dre thing, Dre is a producer. He's not an actual rapper. He's always had somebody write his raps. But Snoop shouldn't lose credit for that because all he did was write the hook. Jay-Z's just such an amazing writer. People didn't expect him to write the hook too. And so Snoop didn't have a problem singing the hook. But no one's ever written Snoop Dogg's bars for him. Snoop writes all his bars.
But we're saying this too, though. Even if I'm not saying this question, but even if they did, and which a lot of these rappers,
I don't think it. So let me say, I don't think it takes away from you being a great artist.
Right,
now, MC, that's a different story. Like, and I think we gotta stop. Trying to take credit away from people the second we hear, you know, somebody might have wrote a line or this, that, and the third immediately. Like, people try to take away Kanye's credit as an MC. Because, you know, he doesn't really write his own stuff anymore. Like, I think people are forgetting about early 2000s Kanye when he was really, really, really heavy on his rap stuff.
But also, he's an influence on other people's music too.
Kanye was going crazy with his pen. And he's a producer. So, yeah, like, he's going to come up with dope hooks and dope bridges. So, yeah, your writing ability, I think it's a factor. Like, people will talk about it, but I don't think it will keep you from being great. You know, you gotta think about, you know, what topic you're talking about. With singers, they're supposed to have writers. You know, not every singer is a great songwriter. Mm-hmm. Just like every lyricist isn't a great freestyler. Some guys are better like this. Some guys can do both. Some guys can just, you know, without pen and paper. Some guys can just flow. But you know, I think it all does get judged, but I don't think it's a factor determining whether or not you won't. I don't think it will keep you from being great. You know.
So yeah, I definitely agree. I just feel like, man, with
people,
your penance,
people gotta start acting like Drake can't rap. That's
Yeah,
my big
I
thing.
mean,
Drake, we know Drake can rap. Drake can rap.
But that's what I'm saying. But that's the problem though. Like, just it's him, but not. It's more than him, because it's more people that you know, even to say like, oh yeah, well they ripped for him. They did. At the end of the day, they had to perform that song, and you don't know what they write. You know, or Rick. At the end of the day, they talking about like, so you don't know these lines. It's not certain things in the song. Man. So it's like, how would you know what to point to?
How the Prince said that Kanye gives him credit for things he don't even think he deserves to get credit to. He said he gave the delivery driver credit on the song one time just because he walked in the studio. You know what I'm saying? So you know, like, just because you see the writing credit, that don't mean the dude wrote the whole verse. He might have just gave you a line, maybe gave you a bar, and so he gives you credit for that bar. That's the type of dude he is. If you inspired him on a song by walking in the studio, he gonna give you credit on the joint. But that don't mean you wrote the whole joint for him.
So in rap, I would say it's a balance, but with artistry and your greatness, I say no.
Yeah, in artistry, say no. But in rap, it's always gonna be judged. You can still be great without it, but you'll always be judged. Like I wouldn't put Young Thug above LL Cool J. That's just me. Like that's one of the deciding factors for me. As far as like MCing, because LL Cool J is one of the greatest MCs ever. Like, so I wouldn't put somebody who's not that great of an MC above him.
I feel that. So man, shoot, we're gonna go back to our age with the '90s picks, with the top 10 greatest cartoons ever. We're gonna see what you talking about. I got my list, you got your list. So let's get it.
I can't hold much on the fly. I think it's pretty good. I base some of it off of yours.
So you wanna do straight through, or you wanna do one by one? Alright, tell me your first, or just go straight through.
Go straight through.
Alright, let me get it. Alright, first I had Ed and Eddie. Classic. That's a classic. That was my favorite Joe Cartoon Network. Tom and Jerry, these kids don't even understand nor know.
That was classic cartoon violence.
And you gotta think about it. Tom and Jerry
movie coming soon.
No, but think about it. Tom and Jerry is a cartoon with no sound. It started with no sound in the 1940s with no sound. They don't even speak, bro. And don't even have to speak, and it was one of the most entertaining shows. Family Guy, of course. I don't think it's my 3, but I put Family Guy there. Family Guy is just timeless, and you already know how crazy and appropriate it is, but that's what makes Family Guy Family Guy. Looney Tunes, of course. Looney Tunes I can't go without. And honestly, this 5, but this might be my debatable number 1. Boondocks for sure, for certain. Boondocks is a classic, and that's more to our lives, like really being parallel to our lives. Dragon Ball Z for sure. I was into anime, but that's the only anime I really was like really into. It was Dragon Ball Z growing up. Dexter's Laboratory. That's a throwback. SpongeBob, I throw it up there. I would say, what's it called? Johnny Bravo and Kim Possible or Scooby Doo.
All right. So my number 1. This is probably not my favorite, but I do think it definitely belongs on like a top 5. It definitely belongs in my top 5. Codename Kids Next Door, man. Codename was elite, man. I mean, like, when you really getting older, when I think about just how deep the show was, as in like they really had their own organizations to fight adultery. They had a moon base, a bike. They were really lit. So Codename was OD fire. I don't have any anime on here because I feel like anime and cartoons are 2 different things. Like number 2 for me is Avatar. People think Avatar is an anime. I don't agree. I think it's a cartoon like anime. I think it's an anime like cartoon, but I don't call it an anime.
It's a cartoon.
Yeah, I feel it as a cartoon. So that's number 2 for me. It's a great show, amazing. I was watching this is probably argument number 1. I was watching this fucking over here, Batman animated series. My number 3, I'm a huge Batman fan. I'm watching it on HBO right now. I watch anything Batman related. I love Batman to death. Looney Tunes. Looney Tunes is a classic. It's just, I mean, so many characters, so many shows, you know, and you can just sit there and watch them all the time. So many, it give you a slew of characters to enjoy and love. Like for me, I always say, like, I have anybody's brain.
I say, who's your favorite?
Bugs. I say, if I could have anybody's brain, it would be Bugs Bunny. Because the thing I liked about him, he was quick. He was a quick thinker. Like, you would have a gun pointed to his face.
He was quicker than a road runner?
No, I'm talking about his thinking, his mind. Like, you would have a gun to his face, and he would get out of it immediately. Like, you could have the drop on him, and he would immediately find a way out. Like, I always admired
his
that
thinking
quick thinking.
ability.
Yeah, like he was very sharp. Fairly Odd Parents, man. Fairly Odd Parents, classic.
That's a sneaky.
That's definitely my number 5.
Sneaky.
We spent so many countless years just enjoying Fairly Odd Parents, wishing you could just wish on anything and get it. My guy Jimmy is next. Jimmy Neutron, boy genius. I mean, people try to compare him to Dexter. I just say, listen, man, Jimmy saved the world from aliens twice. All right, that's all I got. Listen, Jimmy saved the world twice, bro.
Better, bro.
Twice. And him and Timmy had the best cartoon. You know how they used to do the cartoon crossovers. Him and Timmy had the best cartoon crossover. Justice League Unlimited is definitely in there. It probably should go in my top 5, but it's on there. I include that with the Justice League and then Justice League Unlimited. That's an amazing show. I finally got that on DVD for Christmas, so I can't wait to rewatch that again. Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo is amazing. Scooby-Doo is on that list of things that just are going to be around forever, for every generation. Like, it's him and Mario. And like those are the two that I think of. Like, they're gonna be around forever. Yeah. Like, every generation will know about them. They're still making Scooby-Doo stuff. Kim Possible. I saw that on your list, and I was like, you know what? I'll throw it on my top 10. I don't know if I really thought about it, it would still be there, but I love Kim Possible. It was definitely dope. The movies was dope. And this probably would go outside of my personal top 10, but I threw it in here anyway for the last one, SpongeBob, just because SpongeBob is just a classic. I mean, you spent years watching hundreds upon hundreds and hundreds of episodes of SpongeBob, and SpongeBob is still relevant today with some of the memes. Like, you ask these guys in my group chat, I use SpongeBob memes all the time and stuff like that. So
80,000 episodes.
Yeah, man, that's amazing right there. So that's definitely my top 10.
Nah, that daggone boy. Ed and Eddie, bro.
That
was my jump, bro.
They were the original hustlers, man.
That jump.
They were the original get up in the morning. How we gonna get $1 today?
And then it just teach you. And then it was like showing you, how you was with your friends and stuff like that.
Yeah, man. And like, the one thing you gotta respect about them, it finally happened for them in the movie, but they never switched up to gain acceptance from the outside people. Like, no matter how many times they got made fun of, no matter how many times they got beat up, they stuck together as friends.
Yeah, they did.
They were ride or die for each other as friends, regardless of like the outside influence, how people felt about
them. We bugging. Now, I can't even stop. I can't stop what you doing. Hold up, before you even move. My number 1, actually, let me rearrange my list. My number 1 is Proud Family. I'm bugging.
Oh yeah, the Proud Family is
bugging,
good,
bro. Proud Family, no. I can't even go without.
Proud Family is lit.
Proud Family is just that's us, bro.
People still talk about us. You got the La Cienega.
That's me, bro. Nah, that is Proud Family. I'm sorry, Proud Family, for sure. But all right, lastly, man, great would you rather? Would you rather be on a survival reality TV show or a dating show?
All right, go first. I'm
boy.
I already know your answer.
I know. You talking about you already know my answer. I don't know. I honestly, I feel like I could survive on these survival shows. I'm keeping it up.
You believe Faison would pick the survival show?
No, I wouldn't pick. I'm not picking it. I'm saying I feel like I would, because I'm up for competition. I feel like I'll be up for the challenge. But depending on what's going on, because I don't like heights. I don't know what, what I'm saying. I don't know what's going to be the scenario. I'll toughen it out, but no, I'm not doing that. Dating show, I would just have to go dating game show, but I would still be conflicted in it. Man, look here, I love women too much. I'll be too conflicted. I don't want to break nobody's heart. I don't want to be mad at them. I don't know. That's too much. And then it just depends on like how the format is set up. It could be one like The Bachelor, or it could be one like I'm just in a mix of people and going in or something like that.
What's that joint on Netflix? Like, I actually watched that joint. Too Hot to Handle, where they couldn't like.
Nah, that was too, bro. It was another one. It's another one that
was interesting.
What's the one with like the light pink up? Like, what's the joint called? It's like the light pink up. Nah, is it? It's like, oh no, is it like Are You the One?
Are You the One? I never watched that one.
That was a good one. That was good. So just like, I don't know if I could be able to do that. Like, Flavor of Love, man. It's all that stuff's entertaining, but like to be in that situation, I don't know about that. But I'm gonna pick a dating game show.
I was saying you pick dating. I'm gonna go survival show, man. I'm an athletic guy. At least I currently still am. I'm an athletic guy. I'm definitely a competitive guy. And I got a survivor's mentality. I got a mentality of you gotta do what you gotta do to win and do what you gotta do to survive. You know what I'm saying? So like,
you gonna go days without sleeping? I mean, days without eating?
If I got to, that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? To a certain extent, you know, I ain't the one to throw my life away for money. You know what I'm saying? Like I done seen some things like you never catch me on Fear Factor eating bugs for 50,000. But like, yeah, man, I could do the survival series. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna be like Marshawn and trip out over having to eat a pig. We gotta eat this pig. We gotta eat this pig. Like that's what it is. What's you gonna eat? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, at that point,
yeah, you know what I'm saying. That's what it comes down to. Are you willing to survive? Like, what are you willing to do to survive?
I'm willing to survive, but I'd rather have me a woman on my it's talking about. So I'm definitely going to the dating game show. But that survival, it's tough because look at him. Dating game show, that's too much. That's a lot to handle. I'm up for it. You already know. But you already know every Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, the Faison View podcast, man. Make sure you please subscribe, like, man.
Make sure you leave some
comment, man. We out here. Make sure you go get that merch. You see that Be Safe, Be Dangerous on. You see the game shift on the hat, and you see my jewelry on my neck, man, and my wrist. We doing it big out here, man. Support black businesses that will be out and below. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Peace out, y'all.